What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I briefly wanted to share a resource that I myself forgot about until I came across it recently again, and that is cococontrols.com. Have you ever been in a situation where you wanted to know if there's an open source library for something, but instead of Googling around, wouldn't it be nice if there was, a library of sorts where you can see all the stuff that's available for you to plug and play into your app? Well, Coco Controls actually is exactly that. Now, before we dig further into it, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and let's dig in. So, cococontrols.com, it's basically a reference of references, if that makes any sense. So for example, on the homepage here, you can see all these open source projects, and I'm not exactly sure how it shows these on the homepage. I believe it's by recency, but for example, here's a cool one. If we wanted to add this star rating to our SwiftUI app, we can go ahead and click it. It tells us, a bit about what it is, a one-liner, we've got some tags, and the coolest thing is we can hit view on GitHub, and here you'll actually see the README and more info about it. So it looks like, this star rating, we can customize a star, we can customize the number of stars. I guess they've got some examples here where we can have, 1 or 10, and you can integrate this into your project via, I guess, Swift Package Manager. Now, this is cool and all, and the homepage has a couple of good pieces to get started with, but what's cooler about this and where it gets pretty interesting is if I go into search here, and let's say I want to bring in a calendar, and I search in calendar, you'll see a bunch of projects to display calendars. Now, we might be familiar with some of the larger libraries out there, like FS Calendar, but what if you want something in particular? And the other thing that I'll throw out here is, let's say you're just learning iOS. If you ever wanted to find how a calendar is built and maybe kind of dig into it, this is also a great way to do that. So again, we can find something and take a look at it. It gives you a little blurb about it. I don't quite like that one. Let's go with this one here. This one looks pretty cool. And we can go and view on GitHub. And if we come in here, we have a huge screenshot, and it looks like this README in particular doesn't have too much information to get started. But what's nice is you have the code at your disposal. Now, a disclaimer, one thing that I'll mention is sometimes because this is kind of a aggregate of all these different libraries and components, sometimes people don't always go about writing great READMEs, which you just saw there, which is a part of the process of having all these at your disposal. But yeah, take a look at how great these are. Like, look at this one. Like, not only do you have a preview, but you've got some config code as well as documentation as to what's available. And I remember many years ago, I used to reference this quite a bit, and I completely forgot about it just by virtue of not using open source that much. So let's say you wanted to do something like a calendar, or let's say you wanted to have, something like, what if I search in here like Tinder, for example? So let's go for Tinder and let's see what we get. Boom, I search for Tinder and you get exactly what you'd expect to see. So you get these like decks where you can swipe, and I'm gonna go and click on this. Let's check it out on GitHub, and boom, you get exactly what you want. And again, like I said, you don't even necessarily need to use the integration yourself. By all means, it's open source. So take a look at the code, see how things are built, and it's a fantastic resource to learn. And yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Like I said, very brief video. I can honestly spend hours going through different components on here, but I digress. I'll let you all take a look at it. If there's anything on here that you find particularly interesting, drop it in the comments down below. It's pretty cool to take a look for myself, and I would bet everyone else watching as well. Drop a like if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Shooting for 35,000 subs by the end of the weekend. We'll see if we can get there, and I'll catch you all on the next one.